Hello guys, I'm Shawnthebro, and we're here for a special vlog this time. Originally scrapped this vlog because it was supposed to come out with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and for whatever reason, I never uploaded it. I got the game a day late, and I don't know why my brain just decided, well, you can't upload it the day later. I don't know why, but I know my favorite person in the world loves vlogs. I know you guys love vlogs. So I don't see why I wouldn't upload it. So I'm doing it again. Got my Achievement Hunter shirt today. I figured this should still be put out because it's a good topic. My good friend asked me one time, what do you think is an ideal future game? Is it a futuristic game? Is it one that's realistic future? One that's theoretical future? Or one that's just for fun? Well, in many ways, they're all of that. In several ways, there's more than that, and in even more ways than that, there's more. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't make any sense. But that was one of the answers I gave. I gave a whole long list, so I said it in that brief way. That several ways, it's all of them, and in some ways, it's actually more than that. So, in the ways that are realistic, in the futuristic games, when they do that, well, a lot of them are realistic because if you think about it, if it's a shooter and it's realistic and it's based off the actual military, they have or are working on a lot of the stuff that just haven't given it to the majority of the people there, majority of the soldiers and things like that. So a lot of that stuff is true, like they work on cloaks, real cloaks all the time, and everything like that. So I'm not actually going off of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the topic just seemed to fit at the time. So, in terms of realism, as I said, I don't feel that those things are necessarily that far off. There are a lot of things that aren't realistic, but it doesn't mean they can't be, or they won't be, if you understand what I mean. For example, I mean, I'm not necessarily either way on any of these topics, but you say aliens, some people say they're fake, some people say they're real, you know? And then that depends on the person. So, you can't make that argument that futuristic games aren't realistic all the time. Definitely not. Then you say, should they just be theoretical? So you mean Aliens was a good example for this one as well. Well, it's possible. And then you say, well, what about full cloaks and, like, what's a good example? I'm trying to think of a future game. Like, energy weapons and things like that. Again, that's not impossible. I mean, they had a lot. We, as humans, have a lot to learn. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily close, but it could be. We have so much. We know so little about everything in the world. I mean, we didn't create it, so to say that things are only theoretical, yeah, I think games should be a lot of theoretical because theoretical is fun. But at the same time, I don't think that a good futuristic game has to be solely theoretical. If that makes sense to you as well. And finally, the third topic that was brought up was, should they just be for fun? Well, quite frankly, no matter what it is, it should be fun. It doesn't matter if it's real, futuristic, or theoretically futuristic. I think that any video game should be fun. I love all kinds of genres and all kinds of time zones, past, present, future, or no time at all. I mean, they have many games like that. Chair squeaks a lot, doesn't it? Okay, I'm done. But, so as to answer that question, I just thought that was a good question. Because it's a pretty interesting topic. You say, yeah, a lot of future games. Okay, so that could be in the future, but it's just a game. But a lot of the stuff isn't just a game. I mean, they're working on cloaks. They work on, hovering objects. Like, the hoverboard from Back to the Future. Someone or some group of scientists have created a somewhat replica of that. Not nearly as advanced, but they're getting there. And it's little things like that. Over time, you progress, and a lot of stuff happens. So to say that a lot of these games aren't realistic or aren't possibly realistic would be pretty dumb, to be honest with you. I'm not saying the whole game, but there's a lot of tactics, there's a lot of equipment, there's a lot of ideas that are all being worked on, that will all be worked on, and they're all already planned. So, yeah, when I think of a good futuristic game, it doesn't necessarily have any of those. I mean, it does, but I don't necessarily think about it. Sometimes you think about it and say, could this be real? And then yeah, but other times you don't think about it. For example, did anyone sit and try and say, well, is Halo realistic? No, they probably, and I mean, I'm sure people did, but, it's not meant to be realistic, and it's still extremely fun. But at the same time, there are a lot of realistic things to it, and a lot of realistic, awesome elements to it. I mean, they have pretty much real vehicles from the military, and things like that. So, what's the difference after they mix real and theoretical? There is none. It's all good. It's all positive things. Because you take an idea or something that we already have, and then you alter it and edit it and make it futuristic. Whole other game. And I think that's awesome. So, to solve, my opinion, to answer your question from me, I would say that a game does not need realistic elements, does not need theoretical elements, any of that to be a fun game. But there's nothing wrong with having that, and again, I don't believe that one element makes the game more fun than the other. I know that was a jumbled mess of words and probably confusion. I'm sure the person I was talking to when they watch this video will know exactly what I'm talking about, because we had a little bit more of discussion. But to shorten it, should futuristic games be realistic? Yes, not necessarily fully, but they could be. Should they be theoretical? Yes, again, not necessarily the whole way. And should they be fun? Always, absolutely, every game should be fun. So, thank you guys for watching. If you want to post your